Hi, this is Kathy with DecalPals on Etsy. Today we're going to talk about how to resize this fun Halloween design in ScanNCut canvas. Here's the listing on DecalPals.etsy.com. This is a cute 3-color design that would look great cut from heat transfer vinyl and applied to a shirt or a tote bag. Cut it out of pressure sensitive vinyl, and you could put it on one of those glass cubes or a big glass jar and fill it with candy corn or other candy for Halloween. I cut this design out of pressure sensitive vinyl as small as 3.6 inches tall, and it still looked great. So at that size it would fit on a tall mug or an insulated cup or something like that. I'd love to see what you do with this design. Here you see what you get with the design. Each color is a separate object that you'll rearrange and group by color on your mat after you've resized the design. This picture shows the color group design, but this is what your mat is going to look like once you separate the objects into color groups. So, with that, let's get busy. I'll meet you over at the ScanNCut Canvas Design Mat. Okay, so you have purchased this listing from DecalPals.etsy.com and received the confirmation email that gives you the link to the download. You've downloaded the zip file and extracted the files, storing them on your computer where you can find them. You're going to click on the SVG button, then click on Choose File, and navigate to the folder where you stored the downloaded files. In this listing, you get the FCM and the SVG files, which will both work on your machine and in ScanNCut Canvas. However, when I'm working in Canvas, I prefer to use the SVG file because the FCM files are just black outlines, while the SVG files are filled in and in color, so they're just a little more fun to look at. But they both work the same way. So once you found your file, you're going to open the file named Ghost in Pumpkin SVG. Then you're going to click OK. And here is your design on your mat. If you click on each color, you can see that they are separate objects. And in order to determine what your finished design needs to be, we're going to group all of these components in this design. So we're going to click and drag over all the pieces to select them, and then we're going to group either up here at the Edit tab right here, or you can right click on your selected design and group in that menu right there. Once the design elements are grouped, you'll see that the size appears in the lower left corner. This design currently measures 8 inches tall, and if that's the size you want, you can just hang out with me until we get ready to separate the colors and send them to cut in just a couple of minutes. But if you want it smaller or larger, here's what you do. One way to do it is with the design selected, roll over this corner handle, and you can see that your cursor turns to a double-headed arrow. So while it's in that mode, click and hold down your left mouse key and drag that out, keeping an eye on this number right here until you get to the desired size for your project. Now, a more precise way to do that would be with the object selected. You're going to use the properties box. You can either click it here, or you can right click. That little right mouse menu is a really good one for a lot of things. So here's the properties box there. You've already decided how tall or how wide you want your design to be, and I'm going to say that mine's going to be 7 inches. So I'm going to click in this box, or click and drag, or double click, select everything in that box. I'm going to type 7 on my keyboard and hit enter, and you can see that my design shrank. You want to make sure that this maintain aspect ratio box is checked, because that means that your design won't change shape as you enlarge it or you shrink it. After you resize the design to your desired size, you'll want to save your file so that you don't lose your work so far. So let's go to the project title box and enter a name that means something to you. Now, I like to work in acronyms, so I'm going to name this file GIP for Ghost in Pumpkin, and I'm going to put my final height measurement, 7 inches. And I'm going to click on Save. I like to put meaningful information in the file name so that if I'm looking at a list of my file names in a place where I can't see the designs or can't see the mat, then I have a little more information to work with. So now we're going to ungroup the components again using our Edit tab or our right mouse menu, and we're going to group them according to color. So I'm going to move the orange here and the orange here. I'm going to move this guy away from the edge and move this guy down with him, and then move this one away from the edge too. So now if you want an idea of what size your pieces of vinyl need to be on your mat, then it's going to be necessary to regroup them according to color. So I'm going to take the 2 orange pieces and group, take the 2 black pieces and group, and now I can see with both pieces grouped that together they measure 3.28 and 5.25. So I'm going to cut my piece of vinyl about 1 inch larger in each direction. So I would make my height about 4 1/4 and then make my width about 6 1/4, and that would give me plenty of room to cut this out on that little piece of vinyl. Now, if you want to be able to move the pieces independently once you get onto your machine, you're going to want to ungroup these. Just to be safe, I'm going to ungroup them because I'm thinking that I might get to my machine and something might go wrong with the cut, and I might not need to recut every piece of the orange or the black. So I don't have any way to separate them on the machine. I'd either have to recut the whole color or come back into Canvas, ungroup them, and resend them to only cut 1 orange or 1 black piece. So ungrouping them now will give me the ability to treat them separately on the machine. So I'm going to ungroup and ungroup, and I'm going to save the file one last time. Okay. And now I'm going to download. And this is the button you use to download onto your PC or onto your USB, and this is my demo account, so I don't have access to the Wi-Fi in this account, but that would be activated in my working account, and if you have Wi-Fi, this button would be activated and you could send it that way. I hope this will help you use this design more easily. I would love to see what you do with it. If this video helped, please give it a thumbs up so that other scanning cutters will know. And when you finish your project, I invite you to review the design on Etsy and post a picture of your finished project. Hey, thanks for your valuable time. This is Kathy with DecalPals.etsy.com saying, keep cutting and stay happy.